Sport fans, I'm Michael Sakala.
And I'm Brandon Wiggerman. How the hell are you?
How the hell are you? Look at us, behind the bar. I'll tell you what, this brings back memories. I used to serve a lot of clean girls dirty martinis, I'll tell you what, back in my day.
And we're back at Bellacino's, hoping the ovens get turned on.
Pizzas and the grinders, the pizzas and the grinders. Well, like we do, or should I say like we do, then you're going to talk here. Like we did last week, I think we need to continue our protests against the backup quarterback in San Francisco.
Yeah, the little boy out west.
Yes, everyone please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Take off all hats and beers off your heads and honor the American flag, which happens to be right behind me. We're going to play it this time. But hey, guess what? That's what happens when you do these things in Philly. Hey, I gotta tell you, I'm sitting there looking at the flag, I'm looking at the guy holding the flag. That guy looks pretty damn good.
Who is that guy?
I don't know.
What is he dressed in?
That guy belongs in Hollywood. Man, does he look good.
Oh, it's a cowboy shirt.
Huh. Got on the shirt and everything. All right, sport fans. So, let's start this show off on a good note, especially for yourself. How about the Cubbies are in, the Cubs are in? Huh? What do you think
Cubs
about
are
that?
in, and I'm still saying mum's a word. I don't want to get too excited.
The jinx.
It's a long season. When you're dealing with 108 years, and you're a Cubs fan, you kind of keep a tempered spirit about it.
I still try to find a weak spot in their lineup when it comes to the bats. I mean, they are strong. Now, speaking
I did want to say this, though. If they do, finish it out like you should, if you're the best team, in the season, I would say for this season, it's the acquisition of Aroldis Chapman that finally gave us somebody to come out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
If we have a one-run lead, it's not going to, flip it out, turn the game over to we're used to losing those games, going into the ninth, leading by a run, lose by 2.
Yeah. Well, my notes here I got on here as far as the National League. I think the race is going to come down to the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Mets. And to me, the Mets seem to have the easiest road. I got them here. They got the weekend. They're playing the Twins. Then they got Atlanta coming up. They got the Phils. They got the Marlins, and then they finish off again with the Phils. So to me, I think the Mets may have the inside track. But again, we're talking about the Mets, so I'm not really sure if that's a guarantee.
I didn't look at who's playing who, but I would agree. Washington has it sewn up.
Yeah.
Washington has a 10-game lead. So.
Yeah. And then the other interesting.
But the Dodgers lead is only 4.
Yeah, and guess what? And the Dodgers and the Giants play each other 2 more times. They actually have 5 games left between them, to finish out the season. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens with them. Now, on the American side, You got Texas, you got Cleveland, but I think the race is going to come down, like I said, it's going to be with Boston, Toronto, and Baltimore.
It goes a little deeper than that. I know you said that earlier, but more in this one, because Boston, they're close to Boston. Boston only has a 2-game lead, so those two teams you just mentioned could swap out first place. But you can take it all the way down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can still take it 7 deep, all the way down to the Yankees, who are only 4 games out. Tigers only 3 games out.
Oh yeah, I know
There's 15 games left.
Yeah, I know there is.
So if somebody falters.
And what's interesting is Boston, Toronto, and they all play each other. Finish the season. They all have a series amongst each other, so it's going to be pretty exciting as far as
each league has one division. Still kind of in jeopardy.
Baseball's still exciting.
Way, yeah.
I know football's around and kind of takes over preference, but there's still a lot of baseball, and there's still a lot of exciting things to go on here. Now, speaking of football, here we are. Going into week 2, but let's go a little bit rewind. What did you learn, or should I say, what did we learn as far as week 1? I know it's early, but we had to learn something, didn't we?
I kind of said it on my page. It was just week 1. I really didn't learn a whole lot. Just a couple people got injured. I don't put a whole lot of stock. I know that you do in week 1 play. I think before you can start figuring out who's who, it takes a few more games to settle in.
Well, then I'm just let me just tickle you a little bit, okay?
Right. Yeah, go ahead. I knew you would.
This is only going to hurt me. Well, like I said, first thing I learned was that Denver still has a defense. I learned that Winston now pays for his seafood. He had 4 touchdowns last week. The Chargers, they always will find a way to lose, that is. How about the Raiders? They go for it to win. How about Jack Big Balls Del Rio, huh? You got to love that. I still say they're going to Vegas, though. The Browns, I think they stink. I think put a fork in them, they're done. They're toast. I think Winston ought to go get another tattoo, and it should be Wasted Town across his forehead, because he's just not that good. The Packers win, but everybody's all bragging and talking up the Jags. What do you think? And I got to be. I'm like Cam Newton at this point. If you're glad about losing, you're a loser. You know what I mean? If you don't get mad about losing, then you're a loser.
Well, Cam's a loser anyway.
After all these years, the Dolphins, Hootie, you still make me cry. I also got on here that the Colts do not play defense. We watched that game. That game we were talking about that earlier. Less than 40 seconds left. They let the Lions go right down the field to win this game.
Well, they didn't play defense last year either,
no.
But they were without a quarterback, so they were using a 42-year-old guy to get through the season.
Yeah. I put on here that Williams with the Cowboys just needs to learn how to get out of bounds. That was just a classic, another Dallas Cowboy G-Men classic football game. I will say this though, Dak, my man, he didn't look so bad.
You're not gonna put yourself in the Super Bowl like the Eagles fans are with the performance of Carson Wentz?
No, they got another tough game matchup this week. And then here's the thing that I know is going to really get you going. Either the Pats are real good or the Cardinals are overrated. I don't know if anybody watched that.
I would go with neither.
Because there was no Tom, no Gronk, and no problems. They just did what they wanted to with that team.
Poor defensive game plan by Arizona.
Then we go into Monday, where I think Blitzburg now has changed their name to Passburg. Big Ben had 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, and D. Williams ran for 143 with 2 touchdowns. They look pretty damn good.
He had several games last year where he threw for 500 yards, but where'd they go?
And then I'm not sure if anybody stayed up late to watch the Niners-Rams game, but to me, their Niners just look twice as fast as the Rams. And explain to me how Fisher still has a job. That's been on the airwaves all week long. How does this, if we want to start a protest, we need to start a protest on how this guy's still employed.
Well, how about the next time you goof up on the air, I fire you?
Hey. But he's been goofing off for how long, though?
Well, the Rams were in disarray when he got there.
He hasn't had a winning record
just come in as a coach
title.
and fix the team, immediately. They've been notoriously slow starting. I don't know why.
Well, now
they passed up on getting a quarterback this year. I don't know why, and then took one who's not ready apparently to play in the NFL yet, so he's going to sit.
But think about the fact that they moved to LA. Are they going to have all these? They still going to have patience, because they're going to start winning now.
LA cried and cried to the NFL for a team, so.
I don't know. I don't know if Magic Johnson's going to put up with this. He's just not. He's going to be out there tweeting about this. So, if you want, let's jump right in. Week 2.
We're going to start with Thursday night. And that just gets me right there.
Oh, what?
Did you watch the game at all?
The Jets and the Bills?
Yeah.
It was a very exciting game. It was.
37-31, and Rex Ryan comes out and fires his offensive coordinator. I don't get that.
I don't know. I'll tell you what. His brother should be on the hot seat, or he should at least be on some
His
kind
actual defensive coordinator's name is Dennis Thurman, and he calls his brother the assistant coach defense.
The assistant coach defense.
So when you gave up 37 points on defense and you fire your offensive coordinator who scored 31, not really sure I get that.
I don't get that.
That could be.
Yeah.
There's been rumblings that could be the beginning of the end for Ryan. I don't know.
And I'm up in the air with the Jets. I mean, last week they lost a tight one to the Bengals, but their defense looks ferocious at times. And even like on Thursday, their defense at times. And Revis Island, I think we all know now, is Fantasy Island because he's just not the same player.
That was going to be my other point.
Yeah,
Jets
don't
are supposed
pay
to have great defense.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator, and now he's the coach. His coordinator is Casey Rogers. I would definitely be having him hauled in and asking what's going on.
Yeah.
You had the game won against Cincinnati and gave it up.
Casey
You
Rogers.
almost gave this one up. If it was somebody with a better offense, you probably would have.
Is he any relation to Aaron? I mean, did they talk to
no.
or no? Or is he getting ready to go on one of those reality shows? Is he going to be on Bachelor next year? Or maybe Dancing with the Stars? So, going into week 2, you got any picks? What do you got for us for week 2? Because I didn't do so good last week.
Are you going to touch your Dallas-Washington matchup?
I got those down as I'm looking forward to it. As far as touching it, that's another classic, and I just don't know if Dallas is ready to start winning.
Those in-division games,
They're tough, man. They're tough. I think they're going to run all over them, but whether or not. But the thing is, they got to score touchdowns. You can't kick field goals. That's what happened last week against the Giants. You just can't kick field goals all the time.
So let's find out if Arizona is for real. I'll take an easier pick for my first one. Arizona over Tampa. What do you got?
I'll tell you what, I put on here. I look forward to that game because I want to see if Tampa can actually go 2-0. But now that you took the cards, chances are the Buccaneers lost because I like the Bucs this week. So
What do you think about this big one? Texas, Kansas City. Rematch. Playoff rematch. Kansas City just rocked them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if there's going to be any rockments, there's the bookends. I like the Texans in that one.
Okay, how about here's another
you
tight
like
one.
the Chiefs? There's another loss. Christ, I can't win on this.
No. I'm neutral on that one just yet. I want to know what you think about Jacksonville and San Diego.
Jacksonville, San Diego. You know what? I'm going to go with the best losing team in the league. I'm going with the Jags.
That's a good pick. I think I'm going Jacksonville also. And then I know we discussed this earlier. The Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game later in the year is going to mean a lot, but they're also playing it here in week 2.
Yep. I'm calling that the fist fight.
Yeah.
The fist fight. And I got Bird. I got Bird knocking them out.
This one's in Cincinnati.
I don't think it matters.
Ben has particularly not great games against Cincinnati for whatever the reason. It's not one of his games where he throws for 300-400 yards. Usually when he plays them, they're always nip and tuck. I don't know.
I think there's way too much hype on the Bengals, and
I'm going to say this. I think Cincinnati needs it more than Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh, after week 3, is going to get Le'Veon Bell back. And later on, they'll probably get their other receiver back, like they need another one.
Yeah. But they can run. I think Pittsburgh wins because they can run the ball. I think they're going to run the ball, but they also, when they need to, they can just throw the ball all over the place, and they showed that.
It'll be how well can Cincinnati cover Brown? He seems to be a record.
Well, here's one I'll give you. I got the Panthers bouncing back and running all over the Rams, or all over the Niners. I got to win that one 31-21.
I don't even see the Niners scoring 21. Yeah, I agree.
I got a tight one in Foxborough, but believe this or not, I got Tannehill making a mistake late in the game, and the Patriots win that one close, 24-21.
Picking no score, but I'm rooting for Miami.
Here's a game that probably most people won't even watch, but it's actually going to go on. I got the Ravens beating the Browns. I think Flacco goes deep at a lot. He's going to throw the long ball.
I'll say hands down, that should be your pick of the week. The Ravens should beat Cleveland, but I'm going to tell you this. RG3 did everybody in Ohio a favor by being stupid again and running out of bounds with his shoulders into people. Because I think McCown can quarterback the team better. And I'm not, Cleveland's not going to the playoffs or anything, don't get me wrong, but Hugh Jackson is going to turn that team around, and when he does, you're going to be surprised.
Another game I'm looking forward to watching. I think it'll be pretty exciting. What about Luck against that defense in Denver?
Don't see it. Too many cover guys. Not enough on the receiving end at Indianapolis. I mean, Hilton, every game it seems like he's got some kind of leg injury now, ankle, whatever. You throw one guy on him or double him, single the other, whatever. They got three guys who can cover a wide out, and they can stick five out there. Luck's offensive line is pathetic. If he gets to stand up long enough, yeah, he might be able to do something. I just don't see him being able to do that unless he picked up his 40 speed, to 3.9 or something. I don't know.
All right, and I guess we can give a shout out to the owner here. How about his Lions this week? Did they go 2-0?
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game.
Yeah. I like him.
We discussed it when we started.
He's spreading the wealth.
Old Jim Bob Cooter has turned Stafford around.
Yeah. Well, we all knew he had the talent. He's got the arm. He throws for 4,000, 5,000 yards on a regular basis. But now it's like I said. I think the fact that Megatron's going, he's now
you brought up that point
guy.
earlier, which is a good point. That since Megatron retired, he's had to look elsewhere.
Yeah, I almost wonder, does it make sense to have the big time, your big time one wide receiver? You just want to have a group of decent receivers, and I hate to always use them, but that's what the Patriots have been doing for years. They never really have one big guy. They usually have a bunch of little dudes, and you just pick defenses.
This is why I say, though, you have to get a little bit deeper into the season because some of these games can jump back and bite you what you think they should go. So Sunday night, Green Bay, Minnesota. At Minnesota, the new stadium. Until you tell me he's not on the field, I just can't go against Rodgers. He's just too damn good. I can't go against that guy. No way. He's too good. Way too good. And I don't see that Minnesota, like you said. I mean, I know they got Peterson, but that's all they got. And is Sam the Man playing this weekend? Is he playing? Sam Bradford. Is he getting on the field? Oh, I don't think that matters.
That makes it even better.
Here's the only thing again. I do worry about the Vikings defense. I say the only way I'm there still is if my defense can hold down Peterson and make them try and throw the ball.
I say you go 8 in the box. And then I guess
And then we have the Monday night big one
for
the
producer here. You got the Birds and the Bears, and I think it's in Chicago, right? Right, I believe it is. I think it's in Chicago. That's going to be a good one.
That is correct. I'm going Bears.
Yeah, I think they're pretty strong at home. I would venture to say the Bears as well.
It's not that I have anything against the Eagles, and there's a friend of mine at work he's got them in the Super Bowl based on them beating Cleveland. I told him, watch out, dude, back off a little bit.
Nah, they got to prove a little bit more.
The kid has a good arm. He's got a good head on his shoulders. When you can name me the rookie quarterback who won a Super Bowl,
there is none.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
There is none.
He's going to meet up against some stuff he's never seen. They throw different defenses at him. So.
Well, now they got tape on him. So, all right. So now there's some exciting stuff going on with college football this weekend.
Absolutely.
One of the things we're going to bring up, obviously, is probably one of the bigger games. We got Michigan State and Notre Dame, and this game has now become preference. This is a big game.
Yep.
What do you got? I know you're Notre Dame, right? See,
I'm going Notre Dame.
See, I'm thinking the Spartans are going to keep that Final Four dream alive. I mean, they're pretty damn strong. You have how about the other one? You got Ohio State and Oklahoma. That's going to be also another big game. Myself, I'm taking Ohio State to win a close one.
And I'm not going to pick that one, but this is what I'm going to tell you. If Oklahoma loses that one, they can hang it up because they already lost to Houston and they're just they'll be out of the top 25.
I think another fun game, just because of their style of play, you got Oregon and Nebraska. I think the Mighty Ducks are going to be a little too mighty for them, but I think it'll be an exciting game to watch, from a football standpoint.
Where's that one played,
I believe it's in Nebraska. I think it is.
That'll help Nebraska. At least they don't have to go out there.
And then I guess one of the bigger games, you got number 2 against number 11. You got Florida State and Louisville. I think Florida State. I think they blow them out. I know Louisville's got this superstar quarterback. Whatever. I don't even know the kid's name.
Well, I just don't know about blowout. I think it's gonna be a close game. They got a great running back too there in Louisville.
And then Penn State is going to have their tribute this week, and apparently they're going to, salute Joe Pa. From what I understand, they're going to bring a bunch of young kids on. They're going to all piss all over his statue. I think that's a really good idea that they're going to do.
I'm not for that whatsoever.
Now, from what I understand,
They're going to take the slap off his face? And
no, they're playing like I think 3 different little clips or something for him. It's mainly going to be about Penn State football, not so much just on Joe Pa. But I thought that was interesting. It's like, you know what? Let that lie go away. Let's try to forget about all that if we can. We don't need to keep bringing that back up to the people. So here we are, week 2. What do you got to say to the people at home? Huh? What you got to say?
Your boys are going down.
If they can run the ball, they can win this game. And all I've been reading and whatnot is apparently Dak and Dez are going to try to become buddies. So we got D and D. Are they really going to be able to connect? Because if you can get Dez involved in the game early, it changes things.
I kind of like Alfred Morris running better last week than the little guy.
And we all know what happens when guys go up against their former team. They usually have big games. And that breakup was not a good breakup. Alfred is a little pissed off. I would probably feed him the pill as much as possible, but hopefully they do. Run the ball. I know last week he got 45 attempts. It's way too much. Cutting back down to about 30 to 35. Just run the ball and keep it close, and hopefully you get lucky and you pull this thing off.
Again,
I'm not picking them to win.
I'm not saying the Redskins.
I think the Skins win this.
I'm not saying the Redskins are great by no means, but they're not the team that lost to Minnesota. They just had an opening fall flat on their face game, and they won a division last year. Give them something.
No, I think they're good.
And then the Giants. Everybody's got the Giants going to whoop up on New Orleans in New Orleans. I don't know that I'm behind that. I know that you got bounced out of the pool with your New Orleans pick last week, but
that's ridiculous.
But look at the comeback it took by the Raiders. I don't think Drew Brees is going to lay down for the Giants. Do you?
I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it's going back and forth. In that game, whoever gets the ball last wins.
It'll be another game just like the one they played against Raiders.
Yeah, pretty much. Whoever gets the ball last wins the game. Keep the ball out of Drew's hands and you win the game. If not, you lose. All right, sport fans, well, enjoy yourself, have a great weekend, and have a great Week 2 NFL season.
Go Pack.